Oftentimes I feel like maybe you get maybe misunderstood publicly.
I don't know. Honestly, like I don't like claim to know anything or myself very well. I every day know myself more and more. You can't have a false impression of someone because that's my whatever I give off is obviously it's not gonna be false, you know. So I don't want to say like nobody gets me and everybody's wrong. I just like I think people just sort of need to instead of if you take no, I don't know. I think if you look at the circumstance surrounding most of the things that have become like some of my infamous quotes or whatever that people think that I like really like I don't know. People are very understanding, but I try to be more understanding, and then it makes me better at this anyway, and it's all good. Let me put it this way. I don't care.
Kristen Stewart has built a reputation as Hollywood's indie darling, but the phenomenon of Twilight transformed her overnight into Tinseltown's biggest teen sensation. But why is this anti-it girl so uncomfortable in the spotlight?
This caught us all by such surprise.
I definitely believe that Kristen Stewart has issues with her own publicity.
She's uncomfortable and it shows, but exactly what it shows is up for debate.
You're kind of like, is she conceited? Is she like not happy to be here, or is she really uncomfortable?
How do you feel about all the attention you're getting? Is it a bit crazy? Are you dealing with it cool?
No, I mean, it's, you know, like considering so many people love what I love to do, like that they can share that, you know, nothing's worth it if you can't share it with people, and I get to do that on the grandest scale, so like, I'm in the best position with like the most opportunities. It's like, it's pretty overwhelming.
When you're part of a huge franchise like she is in Twilight, the public wants to see that you're enjoying what you do. You look on the chat boards and it's, why does she look so off all the time? Why doesn't she ever smile?
Kristen's awkwardness could come across as if she's not grateful. This is something that has catapulted her to the uppermost stratosphere of celebrity. I don't think she wants to be a celebrity at all. I think she wants to just be an actress.
So the first thing I noticed was a giant crowd outside. How does that feel?
Good.
Her facial expressions, you don't say good while you're grimacing. Obviously, that's another dead giveaway of how much she dislikes it.
Obviously, people are going to be following you. You know, people are going to be wanting to know information about you. You've kind of signed up for it.
Get a chance to walk around the floor a little bit, put on a mask, and go in disguise so you can see sort of the craziness of Comic-Con?
No way.
I was
like, no, because I'm terrified. Because they're because like I would not like I feel like they'd recognize my shoes and just like.
I don't think Kristen Stewart is insecure. She goes out in jeans and hoodie. She's comfortable enough with herself to be secure in the fact that she's not really worried about who's watching her, and that's why there's so much attention on her.
What's the most drastic step you've had to take to hide?
I haven't done like really extreme things. I've heard of people like literally running outside of the back of the hotel and just doing it on foot, because I guarantee I'm faster than most of these guys. But that's just it's a bargain, because if they end up catching you, you look like a tool.
Right.
I could do that. I've heard of people like hiding in dumpsters. I sort of refuse to do that. It's like a fine line, like of like keeping dignity and also just like demanding free will and freedom. It's cool. It's crazy.
Imagine being her and being in those situations where people want to talk to you and touch you and be around you so much, and you're really uncomfortable in that kind of situation. I mean, that can't feel good.
When we were leaving a book signing, that was like the first time I was ever put right in the middle of a large group of fans, and I was literally not even walking on my own feet. I was being dragged by security. And I was thrown in a van, and the second the door shut, it just starts rocking. And that was, like, really genuinely terrifying.
Kristen is, I think, in many ways a victim to, the 24-hour news cycle and Twitter and the internet and TMZ.
I'm a big Twitter guy, so I was a little disappointed when you came out and said that you were pretty much against Twitter. Because
I'm not against Twitter. I just don't want one.
You don't want
know
one
what I mean?
for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I'd like people to sort of not Twitter my whereabouts, which I've said before, but that's fine. Whatever people want to do, I have no problems with anyone.
People want to know what she's doing, what she's up to, with the Twitter world and the Facebook world. So when we're not getting it from her, I think people are getting upset.
Do you hate posting pictures and doing interviews?
No, I don't hate it. It's funny. I think about the movies that I do in a completely different way. You're forced to, for such a long time. And the pictures are my favorite thing. I don't like taking pictures of my friends even, but it's not so bad. It's nice when you're excited about it. I can't wait for this movie to come out. So I'm stoked about that.
I think it's definitely difficult for Kristen to do interviews. She's very thoughtful. You can tell when she's trying to formulate her sentences that she's very thoughtful. She's trying to get the words right. They just don't always come out the way she, I think, intended.
I think she's a girl that just sometimes is like, I'm over it. I'm just going to speak my mind. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be her rawness. That could be something that's endearing to people that people will love, and that will actually benefit her in the future if she keeps it real as opposed to just sticking to the talking points, which a lot of people do in Hollywood.
When you ask her personal questions, that's when Kristen Stewart gets defensive, especially questions regarding her rumored relationship with Robert Pattinson.
Kristen, did Robert propose to you? Are you guys engaged, you and Robert? Come on, Kristen.
I think the more that the two of them deny, the more intent the paparazzi are, the more intent people are on trying to prove that they're in a relationship, so they're going to get chased more.
Help us, because you constantly, on a daily basis, people are speculating about the two of you. Help us understand your friendship with Rob.
I work so closely with Rob and Taylor. I know those guys so well. I would defend and protect them to the grave, and that's it. People are always going to want interesting stories. People are always going to want parts of your life. I think that the best way to be in a position and remain okay with yourself and healthy is to protect yourself, and I will always do that, no matter what clever question takes me by surprise. Do you know what I mean? I will never.
It's a character that would change Kristen's life forever.
I didn't really know about the hype when I got the part at all. I really just felt compelled by the story and the character.
But will Bella also prove to be a curse for her career?